Hello everyone. It is a chilly day today, and so I have tea. This is gingerbread tea with lots of honey, and it's still really hot, so I'm going to set that over there, but it is very tasty and very nice accompaniment to our story. We are returning to Aster today, and Aster made a very hasty decision, and now she has to deal with the consequences of her actions. So let's see how that goes. Chapter 16. Aster. Neither of us said a word as we walked back to our hideout. Part of me was surprised that we'd been able to walk away at all, but the bystanders had been too stunned by the incident to incite any kind of action against us. The other part of me was draped in the emotionless curtain brought on by the use of my powers. Talia moved ahead as we turned onto our street, fishing the key out of her pocket as she stepped along with her efficient limp. Unlocking the door, she ushered me forward first before she entered and bolted the door behind us. We progressed through the dimness of the abandoned front room, our practice moves steering us clear of any debris that lay in our path. Entering the furnished part of the building we lived in, Talia was the first to move over to the table, where she ignited the lantern and set the key down on the wooden surface before she turned to me. "What have you done?" she demanded. "What?" I was taken aback by the fear and the anger in her voice. "I said, what have you done?" Talia said. She took a second look at me. "You killed an innocent man who was just trying to help." I didn't mean to, but that wasn't what came out of my mouth. It was in the way. The informant got away. "That's not a reason to kill someone, Aster," Talia said. "Once those bystanders get over their shock, they're going to contact the peacekeepers. You'll be hanged for murder. What would Adyan say?" "Adyan's dead," I replied. "What would he want, then?" "I have to make Lars Alfred pay," I said, "and I will find him by any means necessary. Even if that means killing innocent people who have nothing to do with it?" I hesitated. "If they get in my way, then yes." "Aster, that man wasn't in your way. In fact, he was more of a gentleman than nearly anyone in the whole of Broton. You fell, and he helped you get back up. And your response is to kill him?" A small corner of rage pushed through the cold curtain. "Well, it wasn't exactly planned, but yes, I killed him," I shouted. "And I don't regret it. Not at the moment, anyway." Talia blinked. "You asked her." "Nothing is going to stop me from getting revenge," I said. "I will never be able to rest easy until I know that Lars Alfred no longer prowls the streets to destroy families." "But this isn't the way," Talia protested. "If you keep this up, then the cost is going to outweigh the benefits. You have to slow down." "No." My voice was hard. "I can't. You don't know." Talia's voice calmed. "Then tell me, what is it?" I hesitated. She didn't know how much Adyan's loss had torn me apart. She didn't know how every waking moment was plagued by this ache that would never fade. She didn't know about the dreams I had when I slept. She didn't know that using my power was the only thing that numbed the pain and kept me from going crazy. She didn't know. and she couldn't. I looked away. You just don't know, okay? I can't explain it. I miss him too, Talia said softly. No! I turned back, eyes blazing. You miss him like a friend. You have no idea what it feels like to have your own twin ripped away from you. It's like you only have half a body, half a world, and it's cold and empty and silent and full of nothing. Looking down at my hands, I realized I was shaking. Anyone cruel enough to do that to a person should not be allowed to live. Aster. Talia sagged slightly like she was exhausted. I know. I agree. But you can't crash blindly into any obstacle until you break through. You need to look at the effect your actions have on those around you. You can't be hurting people like this. I stared her square in the eye. I can't stop. Lars Alfred has to die. Talia just looked at me for a long moment before she let out a long sigh. Then I'm sorry, Aster. I can have no part in this. What are you saying? I demanded. I'm saying I'm leaving, Talia shouted, just as angry as I had been a moment ago. Your desire for revenge is destroying the world around you, and you won't even see it. If you won't listen, then I guess I'm leaving. That's what I've been trying to do for most of my life anyway, so now might as well be a good time. Fine then, I yelled back. Leave. I don't need you anyway. Watch me, Talia said. She turned and marched over to the cabinet that held most of our food supplies. Kneeling, she cleared out the very bottom shelf so she could reach the compartment hidden in the very back. She pulled out the portion of papia we'd given her and waved it over her shoulder at me to show she was serious. Go on then, I said stonily. Not bothering to put anything back, Talia stalked into the room we shared, where I could hear her rummaging around for her things. I remained in the main room, rooted to the spot more than anything else, and waited for her. Talia came back out of the room, a bag slung over her shoulder. She shot me a warning look, but didn't say a word as she marched across the room to the door. She flung it open and disappeared through. A few moments later, the front door slammed shut as Talia left the building altogether. And that was when it all came crashing down on me. The reality that Talia had left me to, the knowledge that I was now truly and completely alone, broke through the emotionless curtain and sent me falling to the floor, where I beat my fists against the wood and screamed. It all rushed in through me in waves, each one rolling over each other, and building up until it became too much, too much, too much. I didn't know how long I lay there on the floor, crying, but eventually the tears stilled. The lamp had burned low, and the room lit only by the faint glow. I stayed there, still sniffling from time to time, and wondering what I was going to do. Adrian was dead. Talia had gone. What was there left, really? What could I do on my own, without anyone to have my back for the first time in my life? I sat up and stared at my hands. What could I do on my own, indeed? I'd been given the ability to command death itself. When I could do that, who could possibly stop me? Watch out, Lars Alfred, I whispered hoarsely. I'm coming.